Fantastic. I'd like to welcome everyone to tonight's call. Um, I really want to focus tonight's call on goal setting. And so I think we all have been exposed to goal setting through the course of our lives in different ways, whether it's, physical goals or business goals or whatever, career goals. And there are some things that absolutely are required to achieve success at any significant level. And I could tell you, it's easy for me sometimes to lose focus, and I find that I lose focus when I'm not goal setting. So I thought, look, we all have different skills and talents in this group, and I'd love to see this group grow as a team, where we lift each other up, and if we're all pulling in the same direction, and we're focused on where we're going, each of us individually, then collectively, all of our ships will rise when the tide comes in. So I don't know how many of you guys have listened to The Stranger's Secret. I captured this by listening to one of Jimmy Smith's talks that he did, and he happened to mention it. And then when I met him, I think he said something about it again. I heard it from him in person once, and I kind of made a mental note. I said, I've got to figure out what that is and look it up. And so one day I did, and it's a talk by Earl Nightingale, and it is absolutely excellent. So I sent Chuck an email. There's two links that I sent you, Chuck. The first one I think is about 31 minutes long. The second one is 16 minutes. And what I'd like to know from our group here, if everybody, and this is to hold me accountable also. This is like a check-in point that we're doing right now tonight. And so this is our second training, but it's just I want to hold myself accountable, just like the Isobody Challenge. I got in because I knew I needed to hold myself accountable. I would like to do this for us as a group, like all of us work together to hold each other accountable to being successful at this business. So I'm wondering if each one of you, I'm willing to do this, would commit to listening to at least one of these, one or the other, or both, once a day. And now this could be done anytime during the day while you're driving. One's 16 minutes, the other one's about 30 minutes. And so in this talk, Earl Nightingale, he tells us the secret to success, and it's very strange. And there are some things in this world that we can't even begin to imagine, the way things work, the way God works. But when we're focused and we have faith and we believe something, it's just amazing how things work out. But it does require that we're focused and we're committed. So I would like to know if each person, and if you can't do it, or you don't want to commit to it, that's okay. Just say, hey, I don't want to do that, and that's okay. We honor that, and we'll just keep doing what we know we need to do to be successful. And if you have a different path that you want to follow, that's okay. But I'd like to know if the group here, the people that we have on this call, would be willing to commit to listening to either one of these YouTube, podcasts, call it that if you may, at least once a day, starting this week. So who's willing to do that? I know I am. All right, Sheila, got a commitment from Sheila. Margaret, I can't tell if you're winking at me or if your hand's up or not. Okay,
I'm
Habiba.
Duncan. It's Troy.
Hey, Troy. Yep, fantastic. So yeah, Margaret's in, fantastic. And Cheryl, I can see it's a Galaxy Tab A, which I think is you.
Yes.
All right, good. So that's number one. The second part of this is Sheila. You sent out a link. You listened to somebody speak about 2 weeks ago, and she said that she had helped. I think you told me this, that she had helped 80 families make a six-figure income. Okay, so I have not listened to that yet, and I want to listen to it. And what I'd like to, and I'm not totally familiar with where all of these podcasts are. I know sometimes you have to dig for the good ones and find them, because I think it should just be a list of each person that they've ever interviewed, where you can just go to a single page and you can click on, one of those stories. So I thought it would be really valuable if we each listened to one of those stories at least, several times a week. I might just do it every day. So I'm going to start with that one. And so that's the other question I have. Actually, two questions. If anybody on this team would be willing to, and maybe you've listened to some of these already that are really good, like this woman that spoke a couple of weeks ago. And if you know of these podcasts that are would be helpful for the group, if you'd be willing to simply extract one, send out a link so we could all be listening to that each and every week. And every week, if we listen to a different story, well, at the end of the year, we've heard 52 stories. And we might find that we want to do 2 a week. I don't know. Right now, I know of at least one that I want to listen to, and I probably want to listen to it several times. So, so is anyone else willing to do that with me this week? Yeah. Sheila, you're in. Chuck, excellent. Margaret's in. Troy?
Yep.
Okay. Cheryl? You're on mute. And Habiba? Yes. Okay. Fantastic. So I mentioned last week that my partner, my old partner, John Sexsmith, in my technology company, that when Nu Skin was going through regulatory scrutiny, he just kept moving forward. So, that taught me something about just consistency. I grew up with a guy, Steve Robinson, and Steve was in good shape. He was always in good shape. And whenever I worked out with him, I always felt like, man, Steve, you're not even really trying. You're not pushing yourself, And I never said that to him, but I was just always amazed because he was always in good shape. And the one thing that he did better than anyone else that I knew growing up was that he was extremely consistent. So that's what we need to be. We need to, as a team, have to be extremely consistent at focusing in on our goals. And I believe that this is going to help us as a group, grow our businesses. So there's something that happens in your mind when you start focusing on something. Your brain starts to figure things out, even while you're sleeping. And I was talking with Chuck earlier. I learned this from a friend of mine, Dr. Patrick Porter, who is I think he's the leading brain entrainment expert in the world. I learned that even while you're sleeping, you can reprogram your mind for success and positive changes in your life. So if you go to sleep with earbuds on, and you're listening to something that's going to help you get to where you want to go, it turns out that even when you fall asleep, your brain is still processing all of that, and you start to think about ways to accomplish that goal, and you really get focused. So for me personally, what I'm looking to do, for the next 12 months is really get focused, and really, direct, my mind while I'm working towards Isagenix to be as productive as possible to achieve my goals, which need to be in writing. And we're going to hear how to do that by Earl Nightingale. If you, as you're listening, if you actually stop, you're going to have to pause it and just take notes, because he tells you exactly what to do. And so if we do that for the next 12 months, I'm completely convinced that each one of us will be able to accomplish our financial goals with Isagenix. So that's all I wanted to share tonight, Chuck. I think it's something that I want personal accountability for. And I think that we probably all need the same thing. And I'd just love to see us do this together as a team and just check in. When we check in next week, were you able to do it every week? Yep. Okay. I got that. All right. So that's 1 week behind us out of 52 weeks. And next week, we might probably continue with the greatest secret or the stranger's secret, and then pick a couple other podcasts. So is anyone on our team willing to, send out to you, Chuck, if you don't mind being the point person, because you can do it on Facebook and maybe we need to have like a little group on Facebook. I don't really know, but I'm going to start like phasing off of Facebook personally, because I don't really like what they're doing as far as, restricting free speech. I don't really like that a lot, but I know it's just a way to communicate and everybody does it. But if you could send out an email, if we had everybody's email address also, then whoever selects those podcasts, I am committed to listening to them. So do we have anybody on our team that would be willing to do that for us once a week? Sheila, hands up. Fantastic. All right, Sheila. Awesome. So for the first week, if you don't mind sending that out to Chuck, the one that you sent me, that link, the woman that's helped 80 people make a six-figure income. So all of a sudden, if we start listening to these things, we're going to hear the little tips and the clues and the how-tos, and that we're going to absorb the mindset of these people that we listen to. And one last thing I want to share, and I'll turn it over to you, Chuck. I had another friend of mine, John Ianni. He was a successful entrepreneur in New York. He used to imagine himself. He'd read all these books on all these entrepreneurs like Dale Carnegie and Henry Ford, and he would imagine that he was in a boardroom sitting with these guys, and he'd read their autobiographies and their biographies, and he'd just imagine and have a conversation with them in his mind about how to grow his business. And so that's the type of focus I think that we need, and we can be mentored by these people that have done it already, even though we're not present with them in the room, by listening to their stories, and we're gonna be encouraged by that. So that's all I needed to share, I think, tonight, Chuck. I'm excited. Today, I think, is this is day one, and I think if we can just direct our focus, like John Sexsmith, focus, and just keep moving forward towards our goals, and kind of put blinders on as to everything else that's going on, all the distractions. And, there's a lot of them for me, because I just happen to like the geopolitical thing. But I really want to get to where I want to go more than that. So, Chuck, I'm going to hand it off to you. Thank you, Sheila, for being willing to help us along here. That's fantastic.
Sure, and I put my email in the chat, so if everybody would just send me their email, I can put in my phone number. You can text it too. It doesn't matter.
Fantastic.
That'll work. Thank you, Sheila. All right, so that was great, and I really appreciate that, because we want all of you to succeed. What I'm going to cover next is just the basics, and I like to go back to Vince Lombardi, and when he started training his team every year, he would show them a football. This is a football. And I don't want to act like you don't know what I'm talking about, but I want to help me believe what I believe. And what I believe is that between the power of 2 and the blessing of 100 BB, we have the secret formula for massive wealth and health for everybody who we touch. I believe that. But I need to, like Duncan was saying, I need to reemphasize this to myself every Monday to help myself really believe what I've got to give to people, because I get a lot more aggressive giving this away to people when I really believe what I'm about to share with you tonight. So let me share my screen with you. I'll keep this short. I'm going to go through it fairly quickly. This is not an opportunity call. This is for leaders. And so can you all see my screen? It talks about integrity. Let's try from that slide. Okay, I'm showing you the presenter view so you can actually see the notes that come along with this. If you don't have a copy of this presentation, you'd like one, just tell me. It's easier to send it to you through Facebook Messenger, because it allows me to send a bigger file, but I'll be happy to send this to you if you don't have it. But every presentation we do, because we're recording this, it could get out to somebody. So you always want to have this disclaimer, even though it's for training purposes and you're already all in the business. We're not trying to entice you to be in the business. Still, it's a great habit to be in, to show this slide whenever you're doing a presentation. The next slide is what I'm going to base my formula for success on tonight. There are hundreds of products in Isagenix, and you're going to see great evolution in our products. If you haven't tried the new whole blend shake yet, please do. My goodness, when the scientists get geeky about it, they've come up with something special here. And how they made it taste great with the stuff that's in it, I have no idea, but it does. So I really encourage you, especially the banana bread and the mocha. stock up a little bit because if you've been around at all, you know these seasonal shake flavors don't last long, and it's just good to have a little extra supply. I know my wife died just ordered 4 more of the banana bread for me today. But this is the product right here that I'm going to base this on. Again, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail because I'm assuming you know enough about this product to understand how valuable it is for a person's health and how affordable it is for a person to replace meals with this simple shake. Now, we know this because we've experienced it, but people will love these products if they try them. And so our goal is to be a user of the products, find some that you are passionate about. Hopefully the shake is one of them because it makes for a great formula for success in our business model. But there are multiple ways you can do this, but I'm going to focus on the shake today. The teaching point I want to make sure we all understand is we have something very, very special here. Isagenix, with our power of 2 and our 100 BV formula, we have a vehicle to help people move from the left side of this quadrant over to the right side. And most people, no matter how much money they earn in their privately owned business or how much money they earn in a job, they don't have a vehicle to move from left to right. We have that vehicle. Now, Duncan and I and several of you could do a whole hour presentation on this particular topic. And I'll tell you what, one of the things in the future what we'll do in our accountability group is we'll get you a copy of Robert Kiyosaki explaining this from a direct marketing, network marketing standpoint, because we have the best way for an average person like me to move from the left quadrant to the right quadrant. I've been both an employee and I've been self-employed. The goal is to move over to a business owner, and with a successful network marketing business, you do become a business owner because it's a system. It's not based on your individual effort anymore. And then as you start to earn additional income, you start to invest to where your investments can produce money. So your money is making you money. This is the core of where we want to get to, but I'm now going to show you the how. The first thing a customer has to do, again, here's the football. You got to set up an account as a customer. That's number one. We use the IsaLife app, and we use the recommended cart as our primary vehicle for doing this. There's other ways to do it, but that's the primary way we do it. Once a person has done that, if they want to participate in what we're talking about now, they need to go in their back office and pay $29 a year, once a year, to become an associate. That's the next step to becoming part of this program. The next step is to become a consultant. You simply share the price with a couple people, one left, one right. Duncan's talked about the family that he enrolled. My wife actually enrolled first. She enrolled me. We enrolled my daughter. We enrolled my best buddy, Pete Hamby. We enrolled another best buddy, Eddie Dokovic. You just enroll a couple people you care and love about. Everybody should be able to get 2, and you want to get 2 that are committed like we are to creating residual income. Because a customer, if they're not committed to their health or they're not committed to the residual income, they're going to come and go. You got to find somebody like us who says, look, I'm in this to win this. This 12-month program that Duncan just talked about, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about people that step up and say, hey, I want financial freedom. I want better health. And if you've got a vehicle to help me get there and you got a plan and a roadmap, I'm in. And that's what we're providing people. This is where it starts, though, helping you, first and foremost, become a consultant. That's 2 customers, one right, one left. Now, some of you have been there and fallen back. As long as you keep doing that 100 PV yourself, your own personal volume, at 100 volume every 30 days, and we recommend 28 or 29 days, set up your lifestyle rewards to do every 28 or 29 days. There's some benefits to that. Again, we're not going to go into all the minor details tonight. I just want you to get that 100 PV. That's personal volume. That's what you're buying for your own personal use, or you're reselling it by hand, which we don't recommend, but you can do to achieve that 100 PV on a monthly basis. Once you're doing that, you lock in your volume on both your right and left team, and you won't lose your commissions. Powerful. Then you get 2 customers. You place one on the right, one on the left. The next step is to help those 2 get 2. You do that by plugging them into this call on Monday nights. You do that by plugging them into the Saturday training call that CC President's doing. You teach them that on Wednesday nights at 5:30 p.m. Eastern, we have a call for prospects. They get their people there. We help you get them enrolled for you. The goal is to help everybody achieve this level that you're looking at right now. It's manager. So not only do you want to get a couple customers, which I believe anybody can do if they're willing to put in the effort, But now you take it a step further and you help your 2 customers get 2. The only way you're going to do that is by experiencing this for yourself, getting some of the rewards, and then confidently share with other people that you found a place to get bread. Now, when I say bread, I'm talking about if one beggar finds a place to get bread, he can in turn share that with other beggars who can also get bread there. That's what we've got here. I've got no special knowledge or, I didn't put Isagenix together. There's so much, I could not have done it. But I have found a place to find financial and time freedom, and I simply offer that to other people. That's what we're doing here. And so this is the cornerstone rank right here. It's called manager. You need to get here and stay here by finding people that are committed to the long haul like we're talking about. Find people that want to earn the income with us. Now, the earnings potential. We're not going to go into, the big picture here, but there's unlimited earning potential here with Isagenix. You can earn up to 250 cycles a week as your 2 teams start to grow over time. Now, you're not going to cap out this compensation plan in a big hurry. It takes time to develop the customer base. But I'm going to show you how we're teaching you to do it. Now, at the executive level, which I'm not even a trainer tonight on how to become an executive, but that is ultimately where you want to get to, because there's $10,000 in bonuses just by getting there and staying there on an annual basis. You got to get 2 new customers a month and then stay there for a whole month, and the company pays you $750 or $1,000 a month for hitting and maintaining that level. They also give you free customers that come in directly to the company. They give them to you. Retail volume, new customers, new associates, all that is part of becoming an executive. So you definitely want to keep your mindset there, but I want to reel it back and focus on just this piece right here. We're teaching people to redirect money from their food budget, and that could be vending machines, it could be coffee shops, it could be restaurants, it could be the grocery store, but redirecting money from your food budget to feed yourself through your own business online. And the math is simple. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it, but basically you can teach someone how to simply redirect money and, number 1, eat healthier food. Number 2, create a pathway for financial freedom. I'm focusing tonight on just the power of 100 BD through the Everyday Shake Pack. This is the one I recommend most of the time. There are multiple other solutions for 100 BD. This is just the one I like most because the 56 meals, a person can easily see how they're just reallocating funds they're already spending to achieve this objective. Now, this is where I want to spend a little time, and I won't spend long. Like I said, we're going to be done in 30 minutes. I got about 7 more minutes. We'll wrap this up. But it's the power of 2. This compensation plan is genius. Jim Cooper set this up 18 years ago, and the only changes that have been made are enhancements and improvements. It's absolutely amazing. So you're building 2 teams. You're building a right team and a left team. As you get your 2 customers, you're going to put one on the right, one on the left. As you help those 2 become an associate and they become consultants, your team starts to multiply and grow. The power of this is it pays you on the volume you create down through your teams, down through infinity. Let me repeat that. It pays on your 2 teams down through infinity. So as you do the power of 2, you get 2, they get 2, they get 2, they get 2. As it doubles and grows, you're getting credit for all that volume. Now you might be saying, Chuck, it doesn't work that way. No, I know it doesn't work that way. But when you can help a few people grasp and fully believe what I'm sharing with you tonight, which is absolute truth, when you get people to yourself first and foremost, you got to believe it first, like I do. But I constantly need to remind myself, because I really believe this at the extent I should, I'd be sharing it with more people. Being transparent with you. I do believe it, but I need to get that belief even farther down in my heart to where it's not about me, it's about helping others. That's the key in my case. So you get paid on volume in your entire group. You get paid on the volume they create on the first order. You get paid on the volume they create on reorders. All of that counts. 2 teams. Every time they hit 300 business volume on one side and 600 business volume on the other side, you get paid a $54 cycle bonus. You can earn up to 250 of those per week as your 2 teams grow exponentially. This next slide we put together just to show you the power of leverage and kind of put it in a graphical format. But you can see I've got it in weeks, but it could be months. It could be years. What do you got going on in the next 12 months that's going to create a $700,000 a year residual income? But let's focus on weeks here or months. The period of time doesn't matter. It's just what happens to the numbers is what matters. When you really believe this, that you're eating good nutrition, which I'm at the point in my life that I am physically fit like I haven't been in my entire life. Even when I was in college, I wasn't this fit. There's no way you're going to get me to stop using these products. That's what you're looking for, is someone else who gets it like that, and then they share it with 2 other people. And in week 1, your team goes from you to 3. I know in the example it says 2, which is easier math, so we'll just leave it at 2, but there's really 3 of you. You and the other 2. The reason there's 3 is you're doing it, your volume in 20 and 29 days, so it actually counts towards what you're getting paid. Now, in the next week, those 2 get 2. Your team just grew by 4. The next week, those 4 get 2 each. Your team just grew by 8. The next week, those 8 get 2. Now, this is just everybody getting 2. It doesn't account for people that are getting a lot more than 2. And yes, I know from personal experience, not everybody's going to get 2. Most people will get 0. You're just looking for the few that get this. And with this training every Monday night, you're going to find more and more people understand this, can internalize it, and get in their heart to where they can easily share this with other people, or bring them to this call, and I'll do this every Monday night for you. But you can see as it multiplies down through level after level after level and compounds, the numbers get staggering. And this has happened for some people and go way beyond this for some people. And most importantly, it can happen for you too. You just got to do the basics consistently and persistently over time with the training that Duncan gave us in the beginning. You put these pieces together and watch your team grow. Now on this volume, when you figure out the math, 900 business volume, $54 in cycle bonus, it comes up to 6% of the business volume. Of course, you have to have the 2 teams in somewhat balance, 1/3, 2/3, to make that pay out like that. But if one team grows wildly fast, don't worry about it. You get to put all your new people on the other side to start to balance that once you got your momentum going and cemented that. So 6% of the volume creates massive income. And you can do the math. How many people do you need to do doing 100 BV a month at 6% to reach your financial freedom goal? Do the math. And then get serious about making it happen for you and the 2 that you bring on board. Plugging it into our system. Teaching them the simple basics of how to do a recommended cart, how to set up their lifestyle rewards, how to keep their 100 PV going every month so they accumulate volume. Those are the basics. What do you have to do to earn the 6%? What do you have to do to earn the cycle bonuses? It's as simple as staying qualified as an active consultant. That's you doing 100 personal volume every 30 days, and 2 of your customers, one on the right and one on the left, doing 100 personal volume every 30 days. That's it to earn these cycle bonuses. Absolutely, positively amazing. So if you're a guest and you're watching this training that one of our associates gave to you, I want to encourage you to get back with that person, get plugged into one of our live calls so we can have some question and answers. Do a 3-way call with one of us. We're not going to try to talk you into doing something you want to do. We just want to answer your questions and help you make a good decision. All right, we wrap this up in exactly 30 minutes. Duncan, I want to thank you. I want to thank all of you for being here today. Let me stop this recording, and we'll spend a few minutes chatting and answering any questions you might have.